Hey guys, your buddy Platt here with a brand new series, Kirkland Brand Series. It is a video series on Kirkland Brand, which is the house brand of Costco. I had heard for years about Costco's, the job they've done procuring their house brands as far as things like wine and spirits. I heard a lot of their stuff is highly regarded. I've never been a big box store guy, but somebody gifted me a Costco membership, and so I thought I'd check it out. Of course, we had to hit the hot dog special before we went shopping. But after that, I headed straight to the wine and spirit section, and I gotta say I was very impressed. And it jumped out at me real quick that I probably had a video series waiting right here, and definitely want to tour their line of wine and spirits, and that's what we're going to do in this video. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you know I kind of like going in the backstory and the history. So start with Costco. Costco was founded, I believe, in 1983 in Seattle. It's 83 or 84 in the Seattle area, but it had a predecessor called Price Club, which was founded in San Diego in 1976. Now their model was they were going to sell in bulk to small businesses that did not have necessarily the same chance to appreciate the opportunity of scale, buying in bulk, saving, per unit cost, what have you. And the membership fee that they put kind of kept the public out and allowed them to focus in on that niche market they wanted to have. Over the next few years, both companies ended up going public, but in 1993 decided to merge together. Apparently at the time, Walmart had taken a shot at acquiring Price Club to merge with its Sam's Club, but Price Club chose Costco instead, and the rest, they say, is history. Today, Costco is the third largest retailer in the world, and they're the largest retailer of beef, poultry, and wine. And we're definitely going to get into wine in future episodes, but today, this bottle just jumped out at me. Kirkland Bottle and Bond, in accordance with U.S. government regulations, Barton 1792 Master Distillers Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This is a 1 liter bottle. That's one thing you'll notice about Kirkland when you go to Costco. 1 liter. They don't. I did not see any real 750s. Pretty much 1 liter is standard. Purchase this bottle for $23.99. 1 liter, $23.99. It's 100 proof. That's kind of tough to beat. Real quick, the name Kirkland, why they use it for the brands is that was their original location was in the Kirkland area of Seattle. Those Kirkland brands. Real quick, Bottle and Bond. What does that mean? If you're, if you're a bourbon nerd like me, you already know, but most don't. Bottle and Bond was probably the first labeling act, food beverage labeling act in the United States. Came in the late 1800s. At the time, there was really no regulation, much besides pay the tax on distilled beverages. And at the time, producers were adulterating their whiskey with things like tobacco juice, iodine. People were getting hurt. There was a need for standards, and the Bottle and Bond Act came in. The most notable thing is this tax stamp. If you saw that, you knew government regulators had been in, made sure that it was the real deal. They checked the barrels. That's part of the process. Is if you want to do a Bottle and Bond product, you basically give the keys over to the regulators, to your rick houses and whatever, and they can come in and check and validate that. And it was one of the first important acts. Now, what does that mean as far as what's in the bottle? Bottle and Bond means it has to be 100 proof bottled. It has to be aged a minimum of 4 years. So we've got 4-year 100 proof spirit, 1 liter, $23.99. Again, we're looking at it. It's looking pretty good for some value there. Now, as far as Barton Distilling goes, Barton 1792 Distillery, it's located in Bardstown, Kentucky. It was actually founded in 1879, but like a lot of these brands, there was a predecessor, a grandfather, an old uncle or something that had a distillery at an earlier time, and then when the new company with that brand goes in, they adopt that date. That being said, though, Bardstown and that distillery has been there for a long time. It's still one of the older distilleries around, so don't get it too twisted. The distillery itself is located on 196 acres with 29 rick houses to store all the bourbon. Barton's is one of the large producers of budget spirits or well spirits. They produce You know, if you're a bartender like me, you see a ton of Barton's gin, vodka, rum, you know, in your speed well. I've reviewed in the past Very Old Barton, which is one of their brands, in the Value Spirits video series. I believe $10 for a $7.50 of Very Old Barton. Again, for the price, was tough to beat, and I'm pretty sure that's why Costco went to someone like them for this product. They're not trying to recreate Pappy Van Winkle. They want a good product at a good price for their members, for sure. As far as what Barton, real quick, Barton is part of the Sazerac company of spirits. So Barton itself has a decent line of spirits, but it's part of Sazerac. Absolutely massive company. Now, Barton's flagship bourbon is called 1792. That's part of the name. It is known to have a high rye mash bill. That's one of the points people like about it. Is that what's in this bottle? Not 100% for sure. In the preparing for this video, I've seen mixed results. Some people thinking this does have a little bit of that rye spice. They think it might be that mash bill. Others saying it appears to be more of a high malt mash bill. Again, Barton's, that produces several line of bourbons, probably has several different mash bills, so we're not 100% sure which one is which. I don't think on the Kirkland site and reading the bottle, I did not see where it kind of hinted at what it is. But with that being said, let's give Kirkland Bottle and Bond Bourbon a try. Oh, I'm excited about this. All right. A little bit of that heat, that 100 proof, you notice in the nose a little bit. I'm getting plenty of oak. Getting some vanilla, some honey. It's fairly light. I'm not picking any spice on the nose, really, so not sure about the rye, but let's go ahead and go in for the taste. Ooh, wow. That really pops. That 100 proof really hits your mouth hard. Nice little punch of sweetness. I'm getting just a slight hint of the spice kind of back and on the side of the tongue. I wouldn't necessarily say this is a high rye. It does have a little bit of that. 100 proof, you're definitely going to feel in the chest, but it's not too hot. It's not undrinkable by any means. You know what? This is a nice little sipper here. $23.99 if I want to mix it with cola, no problem. If I want to use it in cocktails, again, 100 proof, it could fight through, some of the sugary syrups and things like old fashions or what have you. But this is good enough just to be a nice little sipper. Just kind of sit on the shelf. Hey, I just want it with an ice cube or maybe just straight like this. Man, really nice. And again, 1 liter bottle, $23.99. 4-year-old bourbon, 100 proof. That's pretty solid. And the way they're able to do this, why some of these, and why what they're doing is kind of impressive, is because the way private labels work is they're not putting additional marketing in, and that's a lot of times the cost. It's one cost to make juice, but it's another thing to sell it, push it through. If let's say I went to Barton's and I want Platt's bourbon, I want the same thing as this, I'm going to have to charge 30-something bucks because I've got to get it through distribution channels, this, that, and the other. Where Kirkland, we're just selling at our place. We don't need to do ads. We don't need to do marketing. We're big enough. Distributors will just do it for us anyway as far as getting it through. So I don't have to financially incentivize distributors and stuff. And so they're able to put together this. They're able to source from somebody like Barton that makes a good product at a good price. And again, because they're not adding marketing dollars, this is a simple bottle, a simple label. They're able to give that to you. And so I'm really looking forward to the rest of this series because this is a good start right there for sure. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or a Kirkland brand you'd like me to try as far as wine and spirits. I'm not going to try their fondue or anything like that. Please leave me in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Until next time, bottoms up.